Autumn is a time when you want to wrap yourself in a blanket, pour yourself some hot tea, and immerse yourself into the world of cinema. In this video, I prepared a selection of movies and TV series with an incredible autumn atmosphere that will help you feel the magic and coziness of this time of year, something touching, beautiful and deep, and I remind you not to forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share your fall movies. Sweet November. Advertising agent Nelson Moss has always thought only about work, as if forgetting that you can live, love and feel. His career seems to have completely taken over his thoughts. But everything changes when he meets Sarah. This girl is not only very beautiful, she is also very cheerful, full of energy, and seems to radiate a special light. A light that slowly penetrates Nelson's life and makes him see things differently, the way he used to. He does not even notice how he is becoming a different person day by day. You've Got Mail. This is a romantic comedy about competitors who do not realize that they are perfect for each other. Kathleen Kelly owns a small bookstore that she inherited from her mother. Business is going well, until a large retail chain owned by the Fox family appears on the horizon. Fox family, which has begun to poach customers, and is able to set low prices due to its higher turnover to set low prices. At this difficult time, Kathleen anonymously meets a man on the internet who agrees with her in everything. Their virtual romance is gaining momentum, although they have never met in real life. The main problem for these two is that they are competitors, even though they don't know it. When the characters meet, not yet realizing that they have been chatting online for a long time, they are at odds, but gradually find common ground. They have to realize that work is not the most important thing. Good Will Hunting tells the story of a young genius who, for personal reasons, decided to give up on himself. Professor Gerald Lambeau, who teaches at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, hangs up a problem for his students, hoping that one of them will solve it. To the mathematician's surprise, the correct answer appears on the board quickly and anonymously. Then he sets a more difficult task, and finds a young janitor to solve it. Will. It turns out that the guy has an excellent memory and phenomenal intelligence, but he refuses to use these gifts and wastes his life. After getting into trouble again, Hunting faces imprisonment. Lambeau offers the boy a deal. He will settle everything with the police, and in return, will start studying the professor's classes and visit a psychoanalyst. The film is a perfect fit for the fall selection thanks to the warm color scheme of Boston's landscapes and the atmosphere of change and rethinking that is felt at this time of year. The Lake House is a romantic story about people separated by time. Kate Forster decides to move out of her rented house after breaking up with her boyfriend, to start from scratch and to be closer to work. She leaves a letter in the mailbox for the next tenant, explaining some of the nuances. This tenant turns out to be Alex Weiler, a lonely architect whose father built this beautiful house with glass walls. He reads the message, but cannot understand why what is described there does not coincide with reality. This prompts Alex to write a reply. After a few days of correspondence, the characters realize that they live in different times, he in 2004, and she in 2006. This surprising detail not only doesn't cause a break in communication, but on the contrary, encourages Kate and Alex to take risks and fuels their desire to learn more about each other. The feeling of affection turns into love. They arrange a date, but while for Kate it will be only a couple of days before they meet. A Rainy Day in New York. The plot of this entertaining, humorous comedy introduces you to an attractive and confident student Shannon, who is studying journalism. She loves her profession and does her best to be a true professional in it. And now the ambitious girl is going to New York with her young husband Raleigh to work. The fact is that she wants to interview a famous and, most importantly, eminent director, who has kindly agreed to talk to the couple. Shannon is sure that she is lucky. She is carefully preparing for the upcoming conversation with the star. As this is the girl's first big interview, her boyfriend helps her in every way possible. In general, having gathered everything the most necessary things, they arrive in New York. However, as further events of the movie showed, the big city turned out to be inhospitable to the lovers. What can we talk about if, while in New York, young people for the first time seriously quarreled with each other? Life After Life series. The plot revolves around Ursula Todd, who dies and is reborn in a continuous cycle. She has no memory of her previous lives, but her previous deaths leave her with an instinct that will gradually prolong her life. During a heavy snowfall in February 1910, Ursula Todd dies at birth, but in an incredible way, fate gives her a second chance. An alternative lifeline is launched. in which the doctor manages to arrive at the call and cut the umbilical cord around the girl's neck, allowing her to take her first breath. Thus begins the amazing story of the main character, who, as she grows up, dies from of certain circumstances, but is born again each time. She travels through the era, where she witnesses 2 world wars. She tries to live a perfect life through trial and error. The series combines many of the things that attract us to British cinema: the English countryside, the early 20th century, the disadvantaged, the beginning of the 19th century. Europe is on the verge of revolution. As a prisoner, Jean Valjean was next to illegally convicted people who had done nothing wrong, as well as being under the watchful eye of the cruel Inspector Javelin, former convict Jean Valjean, destitute, imbued with anger towards all mankind after his 19-year imprisonment, comes to the Bishop of Dinas and manages to change his life dramatically. Under a new name, he opens an industrial factory and later becomes the mayor of a small town. However, soon, Inspector Javert arrives in the city, with whom the protagonist has a personal score to settle. Having stumbled a bit on his way, he becomes a desired prey of the French police, so he is forced to hide. Inspector Javelin of the Paris Police Department considers his capture to be his life's work. If you like real-life movies without too much artifice, you should definitely watch this adaptation. The movie A Street Cat Named Bob, a wonderful and cheerful movie that is suitable for family viewing. The movie revolves around James Boven, a homeless man recovering from drug addiction by moonlighting as a street musician. One day, thanks to the timely help of a social worker, the musician is able to move into a municipal apartment where he continues to fight his addiction. On his first night in the new place, James unexpectedly discovers a cheeky red cat that rummaging through his food, not realizing that the chance encounter with the animal would be life-changing and give him hope for a brighter future. The film shows that everyone is the author of their own life and that success can be achieved even from scratch.